guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here for another one of our mass making sessions, and what I thought we could do today is make some little booklets from these recycled envelopes. This was an idea that I saw on Natasha over at Treasure Books on her channel. She had an interesting video of different things to do with your recycled envelopes. So I thought that I would come along and do some of the bits that she did. So I've just got here a bunch of different envelopes. Now, unfortunately, I have to say mine are generally these A5 size envelopes, which are bigger than the ones that she was using for her project. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to adapt these and, use them anyway. So what we're going to do, we're going to kind of incorporate the window, and we're going to make little kind of booklets. Now, you'll see what I mean in a minute. So let's just take one and we will play around with kind of cutting it down. I'm just going to move my camera up slightly, because the envelopes are sort of tricky to fit in. Okay, so I'm going to cut the bottom off of the envelope like that, and then I'm just going to cut I was going to say I'm going to cut the top down, but actually, because I want to make a booklet, let me just have a look. I'm just wondering, well, I guess I could do some and some, couldn't I? So yeah, let's do kind of, a few different types, shall we? So, yeah, let's do the first one like this way on. Yeah, this way on. So what I want to do, I just want to cut this section here off like this. Actually, I want to cut the top open. Sorry about this. I should have done a prototype. You know what it's like. You see someone's video and think, oh yeah, that looks, that looks doable. And then you come on to do it and find actually you should have really done a practice run. Okay, so I've just kind of cut the side down. And this is what I say. Hers were smaller, narrower envelopes, so kind of were a better shape. Mine are not brilliant, to be honest. But then what she did here was she kind of had a little fold over piece. Now, again, as you can see, mine has obviously got this, this section where it's obviously been stuck down. So that's kind of bulking it out a bit. So I'm just going to tear that off. We're going to tidy this up in a second, so please don't be too alarmed. I'm going to cut this down slightly smaller. Like that. Okay. So that I've just got an easier job really here to be able to fold it round. So I'm just going to neaten that up like that, okay? And I might keep this because we might be able to make, some more pockets or something out of that maybe next week or something. I'm not sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is form a pocket inside the inside of the envelope, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to take my collage page, which actually I'm not sure I want to use that one, so let me just see what else I've got. I've brought along sort of some scraps, and I've brought along some some whole pieces as well. So I'm going to take this, which is some scrapbook paper, and then attach it into the envelope. Now, for the purposes of the video, I'm just going to glue it in, but of course you could stitch it in. That would be absolutely great too. So let's just go for this. We'll just, oops, like that. Okay, I'm going to do it this way round because that's the straight edge of the paper. Okay, right. And please excuse my hands. I have been playing yesterday and yeah, they're super messy. So I can only apologise. I'm really sorry. I was playing with patinas and also doing some food dye colouring of papers, and yep, of course I couldn't then get it to come off of my hands, so I do apologise that they're still green in places. Not a great look. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is obviously cut this down like this and along here. like that. Okay, so that's the kind of basis of my piece there. Again, I might use my glue spreader, which is otherwise known as my Costa card, just to try and get rid of some of that sort of wrinkly, crinkly effect. Okay, and down that side as well. Okay, right, let's just mop the desk up. Right, and so in the back, I think what I'll do, I'm just going to put some book page down to cover the back up. So let me just bring in some book page. Okay, so this is a really lovely vintage book page. Again, you know, doesn't have to be vintage. That's just, you know, just happens that that's what I've got here. So I'm just going to glue that in across here. Okay. Might even have it sideways on actually. It's quite like that sort of effect. Okay, and again, just going to spread my glue out like that. Okay, and then my glue is really coming out very, very thick and fast today. So clearly I am well overusing the glue, and yeah, do not need to use this amount of glue, but you know what it's like. The glue's either not coming out at all or it's oozing out. So I'm just going to go with it. I'm not going to muck about for the whole video, trying to just get the right, you know, the right amount of glue. So just going to trim this down here like that, and obviously here as well. Okay, right, so looks super nice. And then all I'm going to do here is just fold over to create a little closure there. So like that. Okay. And then of course, you know, I can decorate the outside and things of the book. But what I will then do is I'm just going to take some pages. So I've got some pages here beside me, which are freshly food colour dyed from the weekend. So, you know, hence the colour of my hands. And these were some that my daughter did. She tried to do some orange. Yeah, they're a kind of peachy orange. Where they're thicker, they've kind of come out a bit more yellow, but that's fine. I don't mind that. So just fold that down. And then, yeah, I'm just going to kind of fold it up so I know roughly where to cut. Okay. So I'm just going to trim that down here. Like that. Okay, looking good. Oops. Well, not looking that good actually. Not looking so good as I'd hoped. Right. Okay. So let me just trim these little bits off here. Okay. Right. So they're my pages then. And then, you know, I will probably just stitch these with the sewing machine, to be honest, because, you know, that's just the quickest and easiest way to do it. But what I'm going to do is, just to get some colour onto my envelope, I've just got some coffee here that's in my spray bottle. Just going to spray over that envelope, just so it's not stark white anymore. And I mean, obviously, you know, when I come to use this, I'll decorate this up. So it's not going to stay looking, you know, just plain like this. It will be decorated up, and then hopefully will look, you know, super nice. So I'm just going to put that to one side to dry. And I will keep the pages, yeah, sort of, yeah, with it, I guess, tucked inside it while it dries. Okay. So that wasn't too bad, was it? So let's do another one. And I'll again talk you through this one as well. I mean, they're not complicated or anything. They're a little bit fiddly. But yeah, they're not complicated at all. So Right, so again, what I'm going to do is just cut down here like this. Okay, and then we're going to cut this section here at the top like that. Okay, and then what we want to do is cut this down, and I'm cutting it really close to that window just to try and make this narrower, because they're those big envelopes, you know. And then I'm just going to just cut this down here to get my, you know, foldy flat piece. Okay, so then all I want to do now is cover the back section, which, yeah, I'll probably have to take some more book page, so let me just grab in some more. And again, I mean, I just really quite like to have this kind of sideways on. And actually, in hindsight, I'm now going to go over here slightly, because what happened on my other one, if I just show you, I've got my fold like that and it looks really tatty. So going forward, and you know, we learn kind of as we go, don't we? I'm just going to put it so it's over the fold. I hope that makes sense. And that way I'm going to hopefully eliminate that weird, what would you describe that as? You know, where it's kind of then on the fold, you've then got your papers kind of wanting to separate and not really stick down. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of do that. So, and then I'm just going to fold this over. As you can see, it's picking up some coffee now from where I've already squirted that coffee. But I mean, to me, that's a bonus, because it saves me, you know, squirting so much coffee on this. It's going to start picking some up, so that's all good. And then I'm just going to, again, trim this down here like that, and along here like that, and then along this side here. Okay, right, and then I want to form my pocket. So again, want to just fold it, you know, where the actual original crease was, which was here. I mean, actually, to be honest, now I've kind of stuck the book page on, I could actually move my fold over like that. And actually, I think that's better. So yeah, I'm just going to fold that down there, because they're quite forgiving, to be honest, these envelopes. And then fold this over there, and then I can probably get rid of this whole section that's got that double fold, or I quite like it as a thick one actually. So yeah, let's just squish that down like that. Okay, and then whoops, just need to pop a bit of glue here. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so my original fold was, can't even see it now, but here I think, and that's, you know, that's disappeared now. It's hidden from view. So we've kind of shifted it over. So that's quite a good thing to, you know, bear in mind, that if you're not happy with where your original envelope piece was, if you see what I mean, you can always move it over. So right, now I'm just wondering, would quite like to have this visible, really. I'm not sure whether it will be visible. This is just some scrapbook paper that I've had for years in my stash, but again, you know, quite a good way to use it because it's quite thick, so it's good to use as a pocket. So cut this down like this, and then I can glue that, and then it's visible through there, which is lovely, isn't it? So again, I'm just going to then glue around here. So I'm just gluing on the 3 sides. So this is a top loading pocket, which I don't think I actually showed you last time. But yeah, what we're doing effectively is making a top loading pocket in here. So again, just glue that down like that. Okay. Just check that that's all neat and tidy. Okay, so I love how that looks, and again then can just go across the top, just trim that down like that. Okay, so I love how that looks, and again just going to give that bit of coffee dyeing effect. Okay, just so it's not that stark white envelope basically. Okie dokie. And like I say, I mean, I'd probably, you know, decorate this anyway, you know, decorate it further, but I'm just kind of eliminating the, you know, the stark whiteness of it. So again, just going to take a couple of coffee dyed sheets, and again, I can just fold them in half like that. And then just, you know, fold them up so I know roughly where to cut them. That's it. And then, so I mean, these are a brilliant way to get rid of some of your junk mail envelopes. Absolutely brilliant way. And I'm sure that, you know, most of us have junk mail envelopes, don't we? Okay. There we go, like that. So I'm just going to dab that coffee off of the window. There we go. So again, I'm just going to leave that to the side to dry. I mean, I could do the coffee dyeing, you know, after the video, to be honest. But yeah, I might as well just kind of do it as I go. So yeah, I'm just leaving those to the side to dry. So I'll talk you through one more, and then, you know, then I'll be quiet about the sort of process that we're doing, and we will just get on with what we're doing. So again, just cutting the bottom piece off. Again, just keeping that just in case I want to make something else out of that piece. Now, I did say about doing one this way round, didn't I? Yeah, just having a look now to see. Maybe this is not the one because I've got a lot of text here. So yeah, I won't do it with this one because I'm going to struggle to hide that text. So yeah, let's just kind of go in and we'll just make another one as per the ones that we've already done. So that's that. And then again, I'm going to fold it over because I think that's really quite handy to do actually. But I'm going to obviously cover the back with some book page again. Okie dokie. So just going down there like that. Okie dokie. Just pop that down like that. Okay, spread that glue out. Okay, let's just mop that up. Okay, looking good. And then we will just trim that down. So again, let me just mop up the desk. Right, we will trim it down across the top and bottom first. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim it down here. Just to get rid of that untidy edge first, but I will probably then, you know, I might alter where that is cut in a minute because we're going to again fold this over to try and make it slightly narrower. So I've got my pocket, my front just going to go in like this. Okay. Like that. Okie dokie. And then this piece is going to obviously fold over like that. So again, you know, could leave this like a big flap this time. That might be quite nice for a change. So just going to, yeah, neaten it up, make it straighter. That's it. Okay, right. So we want to do our pocket now inside here. So again, let's just see what I've got here. Okay, I have got this spotty. I'm not sure whether this is going to be... Oh, it is big enough, actually. Yeah, so I might just do that. But what I probably want to do is have this inked up. So just going to do that. And I will just quickly ink around this. So it's not quite such a sort of blue. Okay. Okey-dokey. It just looks, you know, slightly more vintagey, like that. Okay, looking good. And so again, just going to go down here. Like I say, I mean, definitely you could stitch this pocket on the sewing machine, which, to be honest, would probably be nicer. You know, I'm just not doing that because obviously I'm filming. But definitely, without a doubt, you could do that. So, yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. Just check whether that needs any more glue in there. No, it's looking good. Right, and we will just chop this down. And up here on the side. Okay, looking good. Right, let's just get rid of this. And again, just going to kind of spray around this with the coffee dye. I mean, that's not essential, obviously, but, you know, why not? And it just seems to make sense to actually do it whilst we're making them, because then they're, you know, they're then ready to go, aren't they? And obviously you can see I've got that strictly private and confidential on the back. But again, you know, when I come to actually use this and decorate it, I can just cover that up. It doesn't need to, you know, it doesn't need to stay kind of like that at all. So there we go. And let's get some pages to put in here. Okay, what have I got down here? Could use another, yeah, I'll just use another of these actually. So again, just fold those in. Again, just fold it up. You know, this is just my kind of quick method of knowing roughly where to cut it down, you know, to get it to size. Okay, and then we just cut that down there. Now I'm thinking that needs to come in slightly, so let's just take it down like that. Okay. Yay. Does that need to come down? Yeah, slightly more in height. So again, just take it down slightly more in height. Okay, yeah, so that's looking good. So again, just going to pop that to the side to dry off with the coffee dye. Okay. Get rid of my pieces of rubbish. So, I mean, hopefully now, you know, we've done obviously 3. I can just kind of be quiet really about the process, and we can just relax, have a nice time, and yeah, just kind of get making them without me having to talk you through. I mean, the only thing that I am going to mention is I'm going to try one of those sideways on ones this time, because there's no text at the bottom here. So let's crack on and kind of have a go with that. Okay, so let's chop this down like this. Right, I did say I'm not going to keep on talking through this, didn't I? So yeah, just need to kind of focus a little bit on what I'm doing. So I hope that everybody's week has started out well. I know I say this all the time, but you know, I tend to film these on a Monday generally. So yeah, for me it's Monday. My week's only just obviously started, but you guys, obviously it's Tuesday, so I hope that your week has started well, you know, yesterday. My daughter's on an inset day. Well, actually my son and my daughter, they're both on an inset day from school today. So my son is already out at work. He's you know, working for the day. So where he works in like a little cafe / restaurant. So he's already there for the day. And yep, he'll be there until actually 9 o'clock tonight. So yep, he's already gone. And my daughter is downstairs. So yeah, she's watching YouTube. So yeah, we had the most lovely weather for the weekend. It was really, really nice weather this weekend. Actually, we had really nice weather for the whole of last week. Was half term for the children, you know, they were off to school, and it was absolutely lovely weather for the whole of half term, which, you know, that's unusual really for the weather to be, you know, good for half term or a school holiday of any kind. So yeah, that was kind of a real treat and a real bonus. So we went down the beach a couple of times, which was, you know, really nice to be able to do that. And yeah, I mean, the weather's a bit strange today, if I'm honest. It's kind of like, well, it was actually really foggy when I first got up this morning. It was actually quite foggy. The fog obviously has cleared now, but it's still quite overcast. So yeah, it's just a bit on the strange side really today. But having said that, I did look on my weather app, and apparently the weather's going to, you know, cheer up, and we're going to have lovely sunny weather from, I think, from about 10 o'clock it said. So I'm filming this, it's only 9:15 so far. So yeah, we've got plenty of time for the weather to improve. So I made the most of the sunny weather on Saturday and did some coffee dyeing and some more food coloured papers and things like that. So yeah, my daughter assisted and we had some fun in the garden doing that. And yeah, that was quite good. I have to say, not as much as I would have liked, mainly because I ran out of space in the garden to kind of have the paper laying about. But yeah, as soon as I get another sort of hot day and have the chance, I'm going to do a whole bunch more, because I didn't do all the colours that I would have liked to have done. Yeah, so I'm going to do sort of some more as soon as I get the chance to. But that was really great to be able to do that, because you know, I'd kind of had it on my radar that I was dying to be able to do some more, because, you know, I've actually used a lot of the papers that I'd done last year. So yeah, it was really nice to be able to actually get out and do some more. Right, this is some of my collage papers, which are new in my shop. So yeah, just deciding which way I would want this to go in here. Okay, I'm just going to kind of tentatively kind of fold it where roughly I want it to be cut. Okay, like that, and then like that. Yeah, and then so that explains, you know, some of the mess on my hands. Is obviously, you know, the food dyeing and what have you. And then the other thing was, I don't know if any of you guys saw Barbara over at 49 Dragonflies, saw her video of pimping your papers, your coffee dyed paper. And I thought, oh wow, what a fun, you know, fun thing to do. So I've had a bit of a play around with that yesterday as well. When I first got up yesterday, I kind of had a bit of a play yesterday. I didn't do a video yet, but it's on my list of things to do. I'm going to do a video doing some, you know, playing around with papers, because, you know, playing around with, sorry, coffee dyed papers, because yeah, it was really fun to do. And oh look, I forgot to do that. You know, moving the book page over significantly enough. So I've now got it on the fold, but still doesn't really matter, to be honest. Yeah, so it's on my list of things to do. So I probably won't get time today because, like I say, my daughter is home, you know, on an inset day. But I maybe get time tomorrow to do, you know, to do some of the pimping your coffee dye papers on video, because it was super fun. And I had some really nice results with the bits that I did. So I can't wait to actually come and play as well with the papers that I've already pimped, you know. But also to do some more, obviously, because, yeah, it was really, you know, fun to do. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so just kind of press that glue down. Okay, so I mean, all these have got these top pockets, which, you know, is awesome, isn't it? So, yeah. And again, just going to spray this with the coffee. Okie doke. Okay. And then the back. Okay. Okay, right. So again, leave that now to dry. I need to tear out some pages for that, but yeah, I'll do that in a moment. So, right, I might come unstuck today because we always decorate one up, don't we? And of course, I've now sprayed these a lot with coffee, and they're all pretty soggy still. I've been resting them on my glue gun, my hot glue gun, which I normally find is pretty good for drying, you know, when there's not too much to dry, if you see what I mean. But it's not so far, it's not so far doing the trick today, which is a shame. Okay, right, I've got one here that's brown. I love using brown envelopes. So I'm going to, yeah, cut this down actually here. Do another one of those, you know, sideways on pockets, because I thought that looked really nice actually. And we will just cut it down here. Okay. And then just, yeah, let's just tidy up the top. Okay. Right. So again, just want to put some book page inside to, you know, reinforce this and strengthen it. Now this is quite a tatty envelope and quite, you know, quite fragile condition. So I may struggle a bit with this one. Might have to reinforce the, you know, what's going to be like the front of the front pocket, because I think, yeah, I'm going to struggle quite a bit. You know, it's too flimsy to use it. Okay. Yeah, let's just go like that. Okay, spread the glue. Okay. Mop that glue up. Spread the glue on the other side as well. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, let's mop up the excess glue. And then we will just chop this down. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to reinforce this one a bit because the envelope's very, very flimsy. You know, it's, yeah, I'm going to struggle, I think, to use it. So just cut that down. Like that. Okay. And then I'm just, yeah, going to kind of reinforce it. I think up here in the first instance, because that's, you know, that's really flimsy. Oh, do you know what? I'm now thinking, I've got one of those metal rulers, and yeah, of course I can't now find it. So it's obviously buried somewhere on my desk. Can't find it. So yeah, let's just do this. I was thinking I would have it jaggedy, you know, kind of, what's the word? You know, wavy edge, but actually that looked rubbish. So yeah, I'm just going to do it like this instead. So, I mean, all I'm trying to do is just make this so it's slightly more robust, because obviously it's pretty flimsy at the moment. Okay. There we go. Oops. Okay. Okay, right. There we go. And, you know, I will obviously reinforce kind of the rest of it, but I'll probably do that, yeah, afterwards. So, but I might just go across here with another piece of book page so that it's really strong. Just because, obviously, this is going to be the top of my pocket. You know, I want to make sure it's nice and strong, you know, to actually use the pocket. So, like that. Okay. Again, just spread that glue like that. Okey-dokey. There we go. Okay, and just take the other side. Oops, I'm getting glue all over this window envelope. You know, the window of the window envelope. Oops, okay. Oops, I should have cut this down first, because now I'm going to struggle to actually see where the envelope is to be able to cut it down. Oh my goodness me. What a disaster. Right, okay. So again, this is just a total how not to craft. Okay. Right, let's see. We're going to probably fold it in, yeah, about here to make our booklet. Now, I think I'm going to struggle to have any kind of foldy, you know, foldy over here. So I might just have to have this without the foldy flap. That's fine. We'll just have it like a little window booklet. Okay, right. So, yeah, this is looking pretty messy, this one, to be honest. Not made a good job at all. Let's just use this collage sheet again, just because, you know, it's here, and so might as well use it again, really. Okay. Right, I'm thinking I might have it that way. Yeah, might have it this way. I want it that way. Just yeah, it will have to go that way. So I'm going to glue that in, and then I'll trim it down afterwards. So again, just glue that down across there and across there, and then oops, glue it in like that. Okay, press that down. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, we are now good to go. So let me just again trim this up, or trim it down. Anyway, trim it like that, and up this side. Like that. Okay, looking good. And I mean, the good news is when you use the brown envelopes, of course, you know, I mean, in my opinion, they don't really need coffee dyeing. They look great just in the brown envelopes. I mean, of course you can coffee dye them, you know, but I don't think it's necessary. Let me just trim this down here as well. Okay, so like that. Well, perhaps we'll just, you know, just to show you, you know, we'll coffee dye it like that, and on the back, of course. And I mean, that will dry, you know, it will have an effect, if you see what I mean. Just because it's brown, it's not going to be like invisible on there. And I guess it will make it more, you know, seem more aged really, which, you know, we all love the aged look, don't we? So yeah. Okay, right, let's just mop this up. Mop up my window. Okie dokie. Now I'm not sure, because I did stop the camera at one point. I'm not sure now whether I've got room to or time to decorate one. Time to do one more, or just to decorate one. So obviously I do need to put my, you know, book pages into here as well. So right, I'm still trying to dry off one so that I've got one to decorate. So whilst that's drying, we'll just do one more. So yeah, again, we'll do this one. Yeah, I think we'll just do it the, you know, the way that we were doing the first ones, to be honest. So I'll just trim it down here like that. Trim it down here across there like that. Okay. And then I'm going to just, whoops. Oh my goodness. Just trim this one down across here, or along here. Like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to put some book page on that back piece again. I mean, I've just been very generic and used book page for all of these because, of course, you know, well, for a start, I've got it to hand and, you know, it's just nice and neutral, really. So, but, I mean, you don't have to use book page. In fact, I'm just having a look through because I've got some more of those inked papers. If you saw my recent video, I did say I wanted to do some more. So I have got some more of those, which I could use. Oh, to be honest, I feel like that's such a wicked waste. I can't bring myself to use them now. Yeah, I'm now hoarding those. I mean, as if we hadn't seen that coming, honestly. Yeah, I'm now hoarding them. That is the problem, isn't it? We do these things and then, you know, if you're anything like me, you're then going to find it hard to use things. Okay. So plenty of glue. Okay. And just pop that one down like that. Oops. Just got a bit of a gap there, but again, you know, it's fine. It doesn't matter. So again, just spread that glue all over. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, let's just mop that up. And we will just pick that up like that. Oops, let me just wipe the desk down because, wow, that's super gluey now. Okay, right. We will just cut that down like that. And obviously I'm going to trim this down in a minute, so like that. And this side. Okay, right. Let's get rid of these. Right, and then just want to, oh, again, look, I've mucked it up and didn't put the book page kind of over enough. What a wally, honestly. Well, I'm going to just actually fill that in, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to fill that piece in like that. Okay. I like the colour on this envelope. It's quite nice being that navy blue inside. They're not normally navy blue, are they? They're normally that kind of palish blue. Looks really nice, that navy blue. Okay. Right. That's made up for that. Mistake number one there. On this one anyway, mistake number one. Okay. Let's just trim that down. And onto this one. Okay, right, and we will just then fold that in like that and squish that down. Okay. Okay, and we'll just do another pocket. And to be honest, I'm just going to use that collage page again. You know, at the risk of being really super boring. But it just saves me then accumulating another scrap, you know. I've got this little piece left. I might as well just, you know, pop that in there like that. Okay. So again, just go round. Oops. My glue's really been oozing out because it was reasonably full, I think, when I started the video. And now it's, you know, quite empty. Okay. Oh dear. There we go. Right. That's it. Squash that down. And there. Right. Let's just smoosh the glue. Okie dokie. Right. So again, just then trim around where my pocket is now. Like that. And like that. Oops. Okay, right. Looking good. And then, I mean, here we've got a massive, great big fold over flap. So we just fold that over and then I can just trim that down, obviously. I mean, I could have it even the same size, if you see what I mean. So I could actually have this one the full size. Like that. That's quite nice, isn't it? And then, you know, could always do something on this flap as well. So, yeah, let's do that. So, again, just going to quickly spray right the way over it. Okay, and running out of spray. Okay. Right, there we go. I mean, it has run out a bit of spray, but that's fine. We've got a sort of starting point, haven't we? So I will leave that one to dry. And of course I need to, you know, fold some pages to put into here. So how many have we done? We have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is pretty good, to be honest, because they're quite fiddly. I do need to stitch the pages in, like I say. So obviously I will do that. And then we will just come along and we'll decorate, I think, this one, because this is the driest one that I've got. So I will be back in a minute. Right, I'm back from the sewing machine. I've made a horrible mistake here because obviously this was quite curly from where I had sprayed it with the coffee. So I've got my little iron here, the one that I've, you know, that I bought especially for the, you know, the beeswax. Just plugged it in and ironed it. And look what I've done. I don't know if you can see this on camera. I have ruined my window. So yes, what an absolute wally I am. So a bit of a tip there, if you're likely to coffee dye your envelopes, you know, you may need to cover the window up, yeah, before ironing, because you may well ruin your window. So I've just cut what's left of that window out. Just going to go over it now again. Get rid of any last bits of the window like that. So yeah, this one's now got kind of an open frame. I can't actually even get in here, if you see what I mean, to stick some acetate in because it's glued down on this side. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but you know, hey ho, we can go with just a frame rather than a window, if that makes sense. So yeah, again, just another kind of how not to do things, and you know, hopefully just going to be a demonstration of how to overcome it if things like that happen to you. I mean, they happen to me all the time, so I'm sure I can't be the only person who has these types of things happen. But yeah, just something to be aware of there. If you're ironing on window envelopes, you may want to cover the window up. So I've got my pages obviously now glued in. This is the back of that pocket. Again, this isn't coffee dyed, so I'm just going to spray it with the very last of my coffee. Oh, come on. Ah. Or perhaps I've not even got enough in there. It's annoying because there is clearly enough here. Let's just pour it out. Okay. Right, I'm just going to take my wipe and kind of try and spread it about a bit. Oh, honestly, this is just a how not to craft video. So, yeah, apologies now. Right, obviously I've got no worries now about a window because, of course, I don't have a window. So, yeah, I can go straight in with my iron and just, you know, squish that down from the coffee. Okay, like that. Okie dokie. Right, we now have our windowless window pocket booklet. So, oh dear, honestly, what a disaster. Right, let me just unplug my iron. Hold on. Okay, right, I'm done. So let's decorate this one up. So I've got that gorgeous stamp here that I got from that 49 market. And I'm just going to bring in my Memento ink pad. This is a Toffee Crunch, I think. Yep, Toffee Crunch. I'm just going to do some stamping around on this cover. Oh, it doesn't really show up that much, to be honest, but it's okay. I mean, I love this stamp. Yeah, it's not showing up that much in the Toffee Crunch, so yeah, I probably should have used one of my Stays On darker colours, but that's fine. I mean, to be honest, it's showing up perfectly well. It's just, I think, because I'm so used to using such, you know, strong ink pads, if you see what I mean. Okay, so I might just do a little bit of stamping inside. That just kind of keeps the continuity going from the cover. And maybe even just a couple of bits on one or two of the pages like that. And yeah, let's just have a little bit here and there. Okay, right. So that's all our random stamping. Let's get rid of that out of the way. Okay, get rid of that stamp. Right, bit torn here. Do I go with white lace or do I go with black lace? I mean, obviously I always love using black, but I don't know. I mean, I love the black. It just, you know, makes such a dramatic impact, doesn't it? Let's just get my walnut stain and ink around the edges of this. So we've got a really, you know, grungy, lovely, yummy look going on. Like that. Okay, and a bit around the back as well. You know, because obviously this is kind of a booklet, so you're going to kind of see the back, aren't we? Okay, and a bit on the inside there, and just then down there. Okay, right, now I'm wondering, see in here where I've obviously had that mishap with the frame, I'm going to just poke this in like that, so that I can ink around the window, if that makes sense. But hopefully, you know, avoiding the paper. Now, obviously, I have a bit of a problem here because I've glued it right to the window. But we'll just see what we can do. Okay. Okay, that's probably the best that I'm going to be able to do. But it just kind of emphasises that, you know, which is now no longer a window, which is a frame now. Just emphasises that a bit more. Okay, right. Still debating, do we go for white or do we go for black? It's so tough, I can't decide. I've got some baker's twine here in this brown, which I'm going to do like a policy closure piece here. So let's just get a couple of circles Okay, I will go for, yeah, I'll go for the brown ones. Okay, oops, sorry about all the clattering around there. Okay, right, and ink this one up. Okie dokie, right. So, yeah, I'm going to have this here. Whoa. And we're just going to wrap it around. Now, obviously, I do want to have something kind of stuck on here for decorative, you know, reasons or decorative detail. Oh, not that. Okay. That's a bit red, isn't it? Right, let's just see what else have I got. I've got some of my new faux stamped pieces. Ooh, I've got her. Just going to try tearing her out rather than fussy cutting her first and see how she would look torn. She might look okay. She might need fussy cutting. We'll just see. Or she might not be the right thing at all. Yep, I'm thinking she's not really the right thing at all, to be honest. Okay, right, let's just do my holes in here. Okay. And we'll just put a brad through there. Oops. Oh, come on. I always keep some brads kind of in my little organizer that's to the side of my desk, and yeah, of course now I can't get one. Oh, but while I'm just there, I just spotted that other lady again. She's from my new faux stamped pieces, so we'll just see whether she might be good. Oh, I've also got that. Oh dear, what am I doing? Just literally, this was just to try and get a brad, and I saw one just now, and of course now I can't see it. Oh dear, got a snowflake brad. That's definitely not what I was going for. No, that's not. Oh goodness, what am I doing? Must have dropped it. I must have literally dropped it on my way pulling them out of the organizer. Right. Okay, got one. Right. Just put these bits back so they're just not loitering on the desk, because otherwise they'll be like in the way. Okay. Right, let's just pop this down like that. And then I will just snip these little legs off, because brad has quite long legs. Okay, so that's going to go on here like that. Now, would I want lace running behind that? That's quite nice, isn't it? Okay, let's just do that. So, right. Again, I'm just going to use my hot glue because it's nice and quick. Now, my hot glue's been switched on overnight. I'm getting really terrible for doing that all the time. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're not supposed to do that. But yeah, it seems to be something I'm doing at the moment. So please don't, don't think that I'm recommending doing that. I'm so not. I must get back out of the habit of doing that, to be honest. Right, so there's my closure, or my potential closure, or what's going to be my closure. Right, I'm thinking I'm going to have to cut this lady out because, yeah, she might just not be quite right until she's cut out. So let's just cut around. She might not be quite right, actually, even if she is cut out. So my faux stamped images, they come with like a sort of dark background and a neutral. So this obviously is the neutral one. Okay. Oops. Oh, come on. Yeah, she might not be going to be quite the right thing, but we'll see. Oh, she looks quite nice actually. Right, let me just tie my string around here. So obviously I just need to tie it in between those two circles. So there we go, one, and just double that over. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okie dokie, and that would just then, you know, wrap around. So like that. Right, let's ink her up, because definitely, you know, definitely want her on there. And yeah, just kind of having a bit of a look. Thinking an umbrella might look quite nice. Actually, just before I settle on an umbrella. Just see. Oh, that's even quite nice, isn't it, with the window? So, right, again, let me just ink these couple of pieces up. So we've got the window there. Okay. And the windows just from my Shabby Shutters windows that are in my shop. So, yep. Okay. Now, I never would have put her with that window, weirdly enough. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that that would have gone. But actually, it looks okay, I think. What do you guys think? I did pull out this postage stamp because I just wondered whether I could have had that hung somewhere or... Right, so I'm going to have that window there. So I just want to kind of glue it down, but I'm going to try and avoid, obviously, the window of the envelope that I've already mucked up once. So let's try not to muck it up a second time. So again, I'm just going to be super lazy, hot glue this down like that. Okay. Yep, like that. And then we're going to have her in front, sort of overhanging that window, if you see what I mean. Now, she is going to be obviously much more tricky to glue on, avoiding the window. But again, let's just see what we can do. Okay. Okay, let's hope that she's going to, yeah, go on there like that. Okay. Now, just wondering whether I want to have any lace or anything kind of anywhere else. So let's just kind of see. Oh, that's a bit too big now. Let me just cut a smaller piece. Let me just make this a little bit more raggedy, because it's all, you know, needs just, yeah, pulling apart a bit. It's quite neat and tidy at the moment. That's quite nice, isn't it? And then just wondered whether, oh, they're like monstrous on there, aren't they? Absolutely huge. How to just smother her with like the world's biggest flower. Yep. See whether I've got any smaller ones, just, you know, here. Oh, that's annoying. Never got quite the thing that we need, have we? You know, we have all these hundreds of things, but never quite the piece that we need. Just going to cut out this butterfly just from my butterfly film strips. Okay. Okie dokie, right. Oh, that might just be too small to even be visible, really. Yeah, it's quite tiny. Now it's cut out. That's a shame, isn't it? Just see if I want any bling on there. Because, you know me, always like a bit of bling. If we can possibly have bling on there, we will. Oops. Oh, that's quite nice. And actually, I've just got here just a couple more of my faux stamped pieces. Oh, I've already glued these down now, so that's not really going to work, is it? Let me just have a look. Well, I guess we could have that one there. Okay, let's just ink that up. Okay, I'm just going to not hot glue, sorry, wet glue this one down. Just because I want this one a bit flatter and hopefully sort of almost like tucked behind that window, like that. Okay, right. Okie dokie, are we kind of like thinking that that looks possibly good now? What do we think? Yeah, I quite like it. Okay, let's just pop the lace down. Like that. Okay, and then a bit of bling there, like that. Like that. Okay, so there we have it, our finished little booklet. Let me get rid of that butterfly out of the way. Okay, right, let's pull in the ones that we did and see what we did. So, yep, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus this one that we've now decorated up. So, yeah, I think we did quite well, actually. We've done 6, which, you know, they're a bit of a fiddly sort of piece. So I think 6 is pretty good, to be honest. So, yeah, I really hope that you like them. They're super cute and a really fun way to use up some of your, you know, junk mail or recycled envelopes and things. And just make a really nice addition in your junk journal. So, yeah, thank you so much, Natasha from Treasure Books. Absolutely great idea. Yeah, really, really, really like them. And, yeah, I hope that you all have fun making some. And I will see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.